Hello friends, welcome to Maureen Ogago Short Stories Series channel. Kindly watch, subscribe and share with friends and families. The Girl Who Dreamed Beyond the Hills is an emotional and inspiring series that follows Ada, a determined village girl who battles poverty, injustice, and danger in her relentless pursuit of education and a better future. The Girl Who Dreamed Beyond the Hills, Part 4. Ada's hands trembled as she read the letter. It was an invitation, an opportunity to participate in a national essay competition. Unlike the corrupt local contest, this one was fair, and the prize was life-changing, a full scholarship to one of the best schools in the country. But there was a catch: the competition was being held in another city, far from everything she knew. She had no money, no connections, and no idea where she would stay. But she had come too far to give up now. With a determined heart, Ada scraped together what little she had, using her market job earnings to pay for a bus ticket. She packed a few clothes, her precious notebooks, and the dreams that refused to die. As the bus rumbled away from the city she had begun to know, fear crept in. This new city was even bigger, even busier, and she knew no one there. The journey was long and exhausting. By the time she arrived, night had fallen, and the streets buzzed with unfamiliar sounds. She clutched her small bag tightly, unsure where to go. The competition was in 2 days, but where would she sleep? Who could she turn to? She wandered the streets, hesitant to ask for help. She knew too well that not everyone was kind to strangers. Eventually, she found a small park with a wooden bench. It wasn't safe, but exhaustion won. Hugging her bag, she closed her eyes and drifted into a restless sleep. She woke before dawn to the sound of a street sweeper's broom scraping against the pavement. Her body ached, but she had no time to dwell on discomfort. She had to find the competition venue and prepare. She spent the day roaming the city, hungry and unsure, until she found the school hosting the event. Watching students arrive with their parents, well-dressed and confident, a wave of doubt crashed over her. She was alone, her clothes wrinkled from sleeping outside, her stomach empty. But she shook the fear away. She hadn't come this far to let appearances define her worth. That evening, she found herself back on the streets. As night fell, she wandered into a small bus station, hoping to rest on one of the benches. But just as she sat down, a security guard approached. "No sleeping here," he said firmly. "I have nowhere else to go," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. The guard studied her for a moment before sighing. "There's a woman nearby who sometimes helps stranded travelers. Ask for Mama Nkechi at the food stall across the street." Hope flickered in Ada's heart. She hurried across the road, finding an elderly woman serving steaming plates of food. Nervously, she introduced herself and explained her situation. Mama Nkechi studied her with kind but skeptical eyes. "You don't look like a troublemaker," she finally said. "You can sleep on the floor in my shop tonight." Relief washed over Ada. It wasn't a bed, but it was safe. The next morning, she arrived at the competition, her heart pounding. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The essay topic was announced: overcoming adversity. A small, knowing smile touched her lips. If there was one thing she understood, it was adversity. For hours, she poured her soul onto the pages, writing about her journey, the struggles, the hunger, the betrayal, and the unwavering hope that kept her going. She wrote about the nights she had spent reading by the dim glow of a kerosene lamp, the mornings she walked miles to school on an empty stomach, and the days she felt like giving up but pushed forward anyway. She wrote about the unfairness of the world, the sacrifices of her parents, and the belief that education was the only key to breaking free from the cycle of poverty. Tears blurred her vision at times, but she kept writing, her pen moving furiously across the paper. When she finished, her hands ached, but her heart was light. She had given it everything. But while Ada was pouring her heart onto those pages, back in the village, her father was taking his last breath. His weak body, worn from years of labor and illness, finally gave in. The man who had inspired her dreams was gone, but she had no idea. As she left the competition hall, she had no clue that her world was about to change forever. The Girl Who Dreamed Beyond the Hills, Part 5, coming soon. Will Ada's story touch the judges' hearts? Will she win the scholarship that could change her life forever? And how will she cope with the heartbreaking news awaiting her? Stay tuned to find out.